a lot like Susan's voice, especially because she was like always kind of quirky, and she would kind of fall into some kind of role, you know.
And that's super new for me. That's not a lifelong thing. That's a very recent thing that I let anybody see that. But so, which sister was this?
Her name is Susan.
Older, younger?
And she was 12 years older than me, I think.
Hello, Miss Mother.
What does it mean? What do you mean by thespian? I'm not sure.
That's in the theater.
Okay,
So,
like professionally?
Yes,
Well, I mean, she worked with little organizations, like you know, I mean, not something like Portland Center Stage or anything.
Right. Oh, but there's so many,
like
so much need.
Little Lake Oswego Theater, you
Right,
know, that
yeah.
produces three plays a year.
Perfect. Yeah.
And that kind of thing. So she did that for years and years. I mean, that wasn't her job, but that's what her passion was.
That's sweet.
And she was just always, she was like always on. It was like, it's always going to be the Susan show. Anytime you're with her, just pay the cost of admission and just sit through it.
I know it can be like that. But I know it can be like that. I don't look around fun, take turns, and you know, like we can always set timers.
It's all right. No, it's okay. I more and more I'm hearing Susan come out of you.
That's cute. Okay.
So it's almost like there's a little what do you call it? Reincarnation going on here.
Oh yeah, I mean, I've had many experiences with others showing up for me in those sort of ways. You know, through other people. Yeah, you know. Anyway, you know what I mean. That's fun. What? Thanks for telling me that. Are your memories of that mostly good, or is it sometimes like, oh, you sound just like my sister, and boy, that's hitting me in the gut?
No, well, Susan, I guess, was probably my biggest protector in the family. But she was 12 years older than me, so she had a whole life that she was living that did not include a baby sister.
Right.
And so, but she did protect me against Judy, who's 11 years older than me, and she did protect me from time to time, because Judy did not like me. That was a big, you know. Being on Mother's Time or something. Anyway, yeah. So, but Susan was, you know, I would go sometimes to summer stock, and wherever she was playing, and just watch her. Cause I always wanted to be an actress.
Yeah, you got to watch.
But I just got to watch.
Yeah. That's cool though, that you did get to at least like be a part of the space enough that it's very familiar. And I'm sure you learned a ton too. And especially being so young, it's like you're still at that sponge stage. And so, I mean, what that's telling me is I bet that there's that inside of you too that's just got all this amazing training, and it's big, hey, when is it my turn to come out and be on the stage?
Well, and you know, I feel like I did do my part. My bachelor's degree is actually in training.
Any specific kind of training?
No, just training and development.
Are you kidding me? This is the first time I'm hearing this? Yeah. Okay, this is amazing. Okay, go ahead and say whatever else you were going to say.
So anyway, I mean, I you know, that's my first career. I considered myself a trainer, and that's on stage, you know, and that is somewhat, you know, you have to be somewhat entertaining.
Yeah.
And you know, and I do have, you know, an expressive face and voice, and I can do that, and I did that for Kaiser Permanente for a number of years.
I'm so excited to hear that.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm excited about this conversation because what I'm hoping is that it's starting to feel just that much like more possible that like we could have fun. Basically, we can make our own shows now. Like you don't have to, like, we have everything needed. You don't need a film studio. You're just like, I'm just gonna turn my camera on, and if somebody's gonna be an audience, they're an audience. If not, I don't care. There's millions more people who might. So we just be fully ourselves. There'll be the people who are like, they're hilarious.
How come we don't have a camera on us right now?
We have a voice on us.
Okay.
So I didn't start it until you started talking about your sister, but I'm glad that I finally did.
Yeah. Well, so I'm glad to be talking about my sister.
Mm-hmm.
I went and saw her a few years. She died of ovarian cancer, and she really did a lot of chemo. She really tried to beat it. She did chemo 6 months and off 6 months, and for years.
I'm gonna go get my thing so that we can see your art. So you can keep talking the story, or you can wait till I come back. I love that one of the first times you asked the question, "Are you recording this?" You were like, "What? I'm not sure." And then just now you're like, "Why aren't we recording this?" Hilarious. Okay.
See, I see the progression. You've made me a comment.
Well, I mean, Sophia really did a good job of helping me gain that confidence. We practiced a lot. Like we practiced a lot. Of being silly and having fun and getting comfortable in front of the camera, and so yeah, that's also part of the confidence I have. I'm like, hey, I can teach you how to be silly and have fun on camera, and now you can put your professional.
I can channel my sister Susan.
Yes.
Come.
Yes. Hey, what's up? Yeah.
So anyway, I have this beautiful memories of this sister.
Yay.
And she was a very interesting person. So the first job she had out of college was teaching a chimpanzee how to speak sign language.
Wow.
That she did through the University of Nevada. And she taught the chimp Washoe sign language, and she was with Washoe from infancy. Wow. And from infancy, they never spoke around Washoe, only used sign language. And that's how they taught her how to do sign language.
Wow.
And so she did that for a number of years with some really interesting scientists. And then she had her bachelor's degree was, her master's degree was in, I don't remember, was it drama? And her bachelor's was in sociology, or the other way around.
Something like that, yeah. Wow.
Anyway, she was really smart. Everybody in my family knew that she was the genius of the family.
Now you say, what, is she not with you any?
That's right. She died.
Okay.
She was 72 when she died, and I thought that was a very brilliant age to die, and so that's why I always thought I would die at 72.
Yeah, I mean,
and
I suppose, but maybe not.
We'll see. I think I'm going to live to be at least 72.
Yeah, I hope I wrote your birthday down.
That's 1 year from now.
Okay. Gosh, 1 year. Did I tell you about the remember we made that video where you're like, my cancer is indolent?
Yeah, I remember.
I want to go look at the date that we did that, and and then imagine it happening again by then, which it was either January or February. I think that would be pretty amazing if that.
Okay.
Yeah, I can help. We'll see what happens. You know, I don't grasp.
I'm not in charge.
You're right. No,
and
But you also have to imagine a thing, right?
But you can be in charge. I'll turn this over to my agent. the whatever she is, the God's what are you?
Called me God's assistant.
Assistant, yeah, like like.
Did you hear the door blew open when she did that?
Yeah.
We were like doing some energy work with her, like some friends. There were still a few friends from the craft party, a couple of women. We were over there doing this energy work. She was exhausted, and she was like, Heather, you're God's assistant, and the door blew open, and everybody went, "Wah!" It was like, I know the door did that now and then, but still, like the timing.
I mean, pretty special.
And the witnessing, because it'd be really easy to not believe it otherwise. But
yeah.
So that's the only reason I actually have been able to receive that title. I think is because I knew it wasn't just you saying that.
Well, yeah, and you did all of that training for years and years and years of being a personal assistant.
Yep,
And
good at it.
you are good at it. You know everything there is to know about being a personal assistant. And then you add the Holy Spirit into it, and that makes you God's personal assistant.
I love it. But I love having you for translation, though, too, because, I always, you've got the cred. You've got the street cred of being in a religious order.
Oh, yeah.
You can talk like that, but, like,
I'm just a heathen. No, this is A Course in Miracles talking.
Oh, okay, oh, good. Oh, great.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. No, this is A Course in Miracles.
Nice. Awesome.
Yeah.
See, I love hearing all this from you.
Yeah, A Course in Miracles is pretty amazing.
That's awesome.
Man, I love this.
God, incredible.
I just love what I'm doing here.
I do too. We're not gonna want to stop, but it's 20 to 4.
Oh,
shit. So we'll have to wrap up in 20-30 minutes to get you back for your date.
Okay.
Wait, is he bringing you dinner? Or?
Oh, hell no.
Oh,
But
you guys go.
I'm going to give him an option of pozole, which I know he likes, but I don't, he doesn't know that this is really spicy. And my daughter brought over some beef stew. She didn't bring it over. I picked it up from there yesterday. She made me a beef stew, and so he'll probably choose beef stew, which is fine. I'm gonna have the sole.
Good. Oh, that's awesome. So you already have food ready. What's his name again?
Rodney.
And Rodney's your son.
Rodney is my friend.
Your friend.
Is.
I'm trying to get over
He's like 70. No, he's not. She's 68, maybe 69 years old. He's an older guy, and ever since I started chemotherapy, he came and read to me every single week. And we blew through all of the Carlos Castaneda books, the Don Juan books, and then we read Disappearance of the Universe, which got me inspired to read Course in Miracles.
Oh my God, I love knowing the
Yeah,
that story.
so that's how
And
I.
how'd you meet Rodney, though?
Oh well, so I had so for my whole entire life career since forever, no matter what I was doing, I was also teaching mind-body classes, and so I just went out and collected mind-body practices and taught classes on how to do them, like yoga or qigong, or I mean, I didn't usually teach the class. Somebody came in and taught the class, but every single week we had a class on mind body, and I called them mind body classes. And then this brilliant young thing come into my classes said, we should call this a Spiritual Geeks, because all we ever do is get together and geek out spiritually.
Is that what? Oh my God, that's so cute. That's so cute. Spiritual. And so it was one of your students.
So Rodney and I met up at a tarot meetup. We had both been attracted to go to this tarot meetup. This person was teaching this special something of the tarot, and we both went, and we both thought that the presenter or whatever she was really lame, but we hooked up afterwards, and I said, well, you gotta come to my group. I got the Spiritual Geeks. And so he came, and he's been around ever since. That was like 10 years ago.
I love the way you've met so many of your people. Is this really, sweet?
Yeah, Veronica Storm is another spiritual geek, and Vincent Maurer, and they're the original geeks, and we still do stuff together, but
That's awesome. And
but
so
Rodney comes over once a week to read, and I usually try to make him some kind of dinner.
and those are deep relationships. It's not just
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've been through, our families suffering death and transitions and all of that stuff. We're very, very close. And anywho, yeah, spiritual geeks. And you're a spiritual geek. I told Veronica that you're going to have to give honorary status to Heather. She's definitely a spiritual geek.
Well, you need another generation coming up behind you, right? You
Right.
need to start teaching the next generation. Like, yeah, we've got you right now, so train me up. And I'm, I know some really good
I mean, this
smart
is
people ready to.
that's all it
listen at
is.
your
It's
feet.
like it's getting together and listening to each other.
Exactly.
Because we
Yes, you're
all have incredible gifts.
Yep,
We're all healers in different ways, and so all we have to do is just get together and listen to one another, and we are so uplifted.
Yeah, and I've been telling people about the Mutual Inspiration Society too.
Sisters
That's right.
and brothers.
And Cheryl added. Yeah, that's right.
The sisters, but then
Why
it's got to have a.
Can there be one that's just sisters though? Like, isn't it okay to have just sisters sometimes? Like, we can also do, we could do the all inclusive.
Okay.
But I think it's very, very valuable for there to be women with the bodies of women and all the complexities of the bodies of that experience. There needs to be women's. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I really like working with men.
Yeah, we can do both. I'm saying they're just. I think you gotta.
There's a what do you call it? There's a polarity thing that really happens with
Yeah.
men present.
And
You know that.
I do know that, but I think both need some. Yeah. Lindsay's a good one to talk to about this.
And maybe it's because
It's a both and. You understand that, right?
what?
It's a both and. I'm not saying either or. I'm just saying. I believe a gaping hole are opportunities for women to be with women.
Well, I really want to get a unity group together.
Yes, that's
For the absolute purpose of falling into unity together.
Well, that's immediately a
and
co-ed.
just, you and I do crafts together, but it's not the same.
Yeah.
as really
I was
falling
just speaking
into-
to specifically the sisterhood of the Mutual Inspiration Society. But yes, absolutely. I want to create this. Let's start talking about me hosting that sort of thing for you.
And not for me, for us.
Well, for us, sure, whatever. But yeah, yeah. It's all yes. Team efforts. It's just whatever. Yeah. What else we want to get, kind of started? We've been talking independently, I think, but also together of this sort of stuff. Like what's so needed? It's people sitting in the same room together. Okay, what's so needed? People sitting in the same room together and doing something that's really interesting. Okay, what else? And these ongoing opportunities for connections, so that it's a real deep,
Right.
you know.
So in the Spiritual Geeks, we all took turns, sort of leading a session, you know, and we do our research. And Rodney's really into paranormal stuff, and
So everybody has their thing.
everybody
they like to
has
talk
their
about.
thing that they like to bring.
Yeah.
And that's what's needed. I mean, we have built such a tight community, and granted, it's only the 4 or 5 of us, but we are tight, you know.
So you can't tell me. Okay, so there's different kinds of communities. So you have built communities. You've said, oh, I like how you're doing it, Heather, but you've built this really long-term, tight-knit group, which is something that most people have never experienced. So you'll have this really incredible.
I have lots of tight-knit groups over the years. I mean,
So
my
then what
order.
are you saying? Oh,
My
I
order
haven't-
group, 75 people came to my wake, you know.
I know, right?
And
And so every time you say, "Oh, I couldn't create community," I'm like, "What are you
No,
talking about?"
I mean, it wasn't ever the type of community that I wanted,
Okay.
which was to live together
Yeah.
with sort of a shared vision and, you know, spirituality maybe. I mean, not that we all had to be on the same religion, but you know that there was a mutual respect for the sacred.
Right. Well, I mean, you know, what if everybody's been out there, you know, doing their thing, and you've been holding this vision for a super long time? What if it's that you've been building the foundation, and now you have these mature elders? You know, you have so much to share. What if it's just finally like, okay, now the help you've needed is arriving, and the people who already know, like, and trust you are ready to just, what's Jeanette talking about? I want to know. And you can now start showing what it looks like when you've done what you've done. It's just that you've done a very good job. So I'm gonna say, just imagine maybe that vision. Just try to imagine like all the tributaries coming together.
I know
and
I've
I
done
think
a
your
good
dream-
job.
Your dream is
I've never
coming.
stopped. I've never stopped working at it, and
Good.
and you know, and I do have this really great group of the Spiritual Geeks, and you know, I just got this inspiration. I should try to get a Zoom meeting for all of us girls that were in the order,
Yeah.
and
Everybody's been calling you out of the woodwork. It seems like.
and see if we can talk about what we really gained from the order, and how we're using the order perspective in our lives today. I think that would be such a good conversation.
We will start.
And then we'll record that.
Yep.
Duh.
Such a good
Hello.
idea.
Stoned inspiration.
No, I'm sorry.
No, it's stoned.
Well, sometimes.
It's just good ideas. Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah.
You know, you get
It
that-
just